If you're an ambitious creator, let me be the first to tell you that you do not need to do 80% of what you've been told to do online. When I first got to 10K a month, I was still doing so many things wrong. I was not working nearly as hard as I could have been, and still, because of 3 things that I did, it basically forced the income to appear through my content, through my brand. So in this video, I will break down the 3P framework so you can go from zero to maybe a couple dollars from ad revenue to $10,000 a month as a creator. And this works whether you are completely starting from scratch or you already have a channel, or maybe you already have something you want to sell, but you're just not getting the numbers you want. Starting over here with the first P, which is promise. Your content and your brand needs to have the backbone of a singular promise, and that promise has to be for a singular avatar to solve a singular burning desire. There is a habit that is painfully common with creators. They're making too many different kinds of videos for too many different kinds of people. They're trying to sell too many different kinds of things, or they're taking too many different kinds of sponsorships. In fact, once you learn all this, you would never need a sponsorship again. But creators do this because they're stuck in this cycle of chasing the next view and chasing the next dollar, when in reality, it is so much simpler than that. Because when you know exactly who your avatar is, all you need to know is what is one promise I can make them that they actually care about, because that promise is to alleviate some burning problem that they have. And notice how I'm saying promise. I'm not saying product, I'm not saying offer, I'm not saying funnel, I'm saying a promise, because a true offer is that. It is a promise, because that is what these people actually care about. They do not care about what you're giving them, what you're selling, whether it's coaching, a PDF, a course, a product, whatever. They do not care about your fancy funnels. They do not care about what website you're using to get their emails and try to sell them things. And it may sound clear, but I see everyone make this mistake. They focus way too much on, well, this is my specific blueprint program course, or this is my coaching, me, when it never has been, nor will it ever be about you. It is about this person right here. And if you do not already have a crystal clear vision on who that person is, you're not going to make it. Your content's never going to have the impact. Your offers that you're selling are never going to have the magnetism that is required to get to 10K a month as a creator. This is a free gift in exchange for an email. I have an audience avatar generator I would like to give you. It is a plug and play, fill in the blank template that will enable you to come up with infinite content ideas and to know exactly how to write your scripts, how to say your hooks, how to make your titles, how to make your thumbnails. And a bonus tip, you can turn this template into a document and give it to the AI of your choice, and all of a sudden the AI is infinitely better at helping you do these things. But here's the thing, even if you have the right promise, even if you have the right avatar, if the value math doesn't add up, you're not going to generate money. And really all you need to think about when it comes to the value math is the rule of 10x. Is this promise that I am going to fulfill on for this avatar worth 10x whatever I am going to charge for it? And let me clarify, 10 times, not, oh, if you give me this, I'll solve this little problem in your life that may make your life a little bit better. No, it has to be a night and day difference. So if you want to make $100 for delivering on the promise you're making to the avatar, you need to ensure that it is clearly delivering $1,000 worth of results, of benefits to the avatar. Believe that in your heart. You have to be able to, one, clearly articulate it, and your avatar has to be able to instantly understand it. For example, let's say this video ends up being 15 minutes long. The reason you're still here is because you subconsciously believe that getting to $10,000 a month as a creator is worth 150 minutes of your time. Therefore, this video feels like a no-brainer to watch, feels infinitely valuable. If my avatar is a struggling single mom and my promise is that her kids will become well-behaved, I need to understand what that is worth for her. For example, if it is worth $5,000 to have well-behaved kids and not be judged by other moms, be actually able to get her work done, keep the house clean, everything like that, then I could turn around with the 10x and sell something for $500, and it feels like a no-brainer to her. If my avatar is a college athlete and my promise is that I will add 10 inches to their vertical jump, and the athlete believes that this is the key to doing really well in the sport and then eventually making some kind of pro league and making, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars playing the sport they love, then they probably at least value that at $20,000 $1,000, which means I would need to sell that thing for $2,000. And this can be on large and small scales. If you're just teaching someone how to knit better and they may value it at $500, you can sell your knitting thing for $50. It doesn't have to be crazy numbers, although when you're a very small channel, usually you want to go bigger problems because that means you'll get bigger payouts even with a small viewership. But unless you know which of these two paths you're going to go down, you're never going to know exactly what you can price your stuff at. So are you going to take the path of offering a silver bullet, which means you are giving the exact solution to whatever the problem is? For example, if I was selling scripting for YouTube and I gave done for you scripts and I wrote the script out for you, or I gave you these templates where you just have to put in like your name or something and it works instantly, that would be an example of a silver bullet. I instantly solved your scripting problem. If your issue is creating content that actually gets views, growing your personal brand through YouTube, and actually building a business off the back end, and I offered you direct coaching, direct advice, and all of the information and templates that I have used to do the very things, that would be considered a silver bullet as well. And if you actually want to know more about that, because yes, of course I have that, DM me on Instagram at Kenny's Fit. Just message me silver bullet and we'll talk over there. Or is it maybe a little less than that? Maybe you're not fully qualified or have the product or the resources to be a silver bullet. In that case, you would be more of a helping hand. For example, let's say your avatar is men who are a little overweight and too busy with work, and your promise is you will help them lose 50 pounds. Well, a silver bullet maybe you give them exactly the meals to eat every single day, you're with them in person and you work them out in a gym for only 20 minutes a day since they're busy, or maybe you give them some magical drug that they just inject and they stop eating food and they lose 50 pounds that way. Those are silver bullets. Whereas let's say you're more offering, say, weekly coaching calls and some accountability and some guidance and help and some workout programs, that would be a little bit more of a helping hand. Or for me, let's say I had some kind of community of like-minded creators, maybe there's some resources in there, and we hop in calls, we get each other fired up, we offer some feedback and a little bit of accountability. That would still be a little bit more of a helping hand because I'm not giving specific advice, I'm not giving you specific resources, I'm not helping you one-on-one exactly right off the bat, so it falls more into this camp. And you've probably guessed by now, this depends on your ability to actually deliver on the promise, because the silver bullet is going to take a lot more out of you to deliver on that promise, whereas a helping hand requires a lot less effort on your part, which means usually you charge less for a helping hand than you do for a silver bullet. But how do you ensure that your avatar actually looks at your promise with these big auga eyes and actually believes that this promise is going to be made? Well, you need a promise stack. And there's 5 things that go into the stack, and the good news is you now already have 2. Because the first one is the outcome. This is the outcome that your promise is promising. It is basically the one sentence that describes the transformation that the avatar wants and truly wants. People get confused with this. They'll say the outcome that comes out of their product instead of the outcome that is actually a step past that the avatar actually wants. For example, if I only say you're going to jump 10 inches higher, over and over and over. Yeah, that's going to attract some people, but it's not as alluring as you're going to become more athletic so you can get signed by a professional sports league and play the sport you love for a living. That is what they actually want. They don't care as much about a specific number of inches they can jump high. They care about the desired outcome, which is going and playing in the pros. So you need to make sure that that is actually communicated in your promise, in your messaging to the avatar. Secondly, you need a mechanism. It is no longer good enough in this age of the internet to just offer something. There needs to be a clear, unique, or novel mechanism that helps deliver on the promise and get them to that outcome that you can explicitly state and explain to the avatar. For example, Alex Hormozi just made over $100 million with his big, cool book launch selling $100 million money models, which is attractions, upsells, downsells, and reoccurring revenue. These 4 things have been around forever. This is just sales. This is just conversions. This is just funnels. But he didn't say any of that. He didn't use industry jargon. He didn't use terms that other creators, other influencers have come up with. He said money models. He made a new, unique mechanism and a unique way of explaining it and executing it. And that is what makes it so alluring, because it feels new. It feels novel, even though it is something that business owners have been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years. And this isn't some sleazy marketing thing. This is just a requirement to get the avatar to actually care enough about your offer and your promise. Because most people make decisions with an emotional charge and then justify it later with logic. Not only does the mechanism give them an emotional charge because it feels new, but it gives them the justification because, oh, well, it has this mechanism that's going to help me get to the desired outcome. The third is the actual delivery on how you deliver on the promise. This is a little more boring, but your avatar, especially if they're a little more sophisticated, needs to know, okay, but what exactly is it? What exactly am I getting? Like, you got me on the outcome, you got me on the mechanism, but what am I actually getting with this? Are you selling them a community? Are you selling them a physical product that gives them more energy when they drink it? Are you selling them one-on-one coaching? Are you selling them a collection of videos? You need to explicitly kind of explain what it is at some point during the process. Otherwise, it just feels a little weird. It's like, okay, but I can't really picture in my head how this is going to work. And your avatar needs to be able to see themselves going throughout the process to truly believe in it. And when you're able to get them to do that, they've actually already bought the product in their minds, and it's so much easier to sell them. The next one is the value math that we just talked about. And lastly, some form of a risk reversal. Because unfortunately, there are some scummy people on the internet. There isn't a lot of them, but every time there is one that pops up, they get all the attention. You know, CoffeeZilla makes a video about them, and everyone gets more and more skeptical about buying literally anything through the internet. Therefore, are you able to somehow reverse the risk to get them into the door of your promise? Is it simply a money back guarantee if they don't get the results or they don't like it? Is it a free trial? Is it once they get the thing, you are going to keep working with them until the promise is delivered for free even? Now, the thing about risk reversals or guarantees is you can actually get really creative with these. It doesn't have to be a basic money back guarantee because, as we know, there are also bad people that like to get things that are worth a lot, screen record the videos or get the results for free, and then just say, oh, I'm gonna get the refund, please, and I'm just gonna keep all the stuff that I just stole from you. I just ate this yummy burger at the restaurant, but no, I don't think this burger was good enough. Can I have a refund, sir? But if it's early on, you probably should just offer some kind of risk reversal, especially if you don't have enough overwhelming proof that you've done it and gotten to the result, or that you helped other people get to the result. You should probably offer something. Most people aren't going to trick you or scam you or anything like that. And already, you should be able to just do the math in your head to map out how you're going to get to 10K a month. Is your thing $500? Okay, that is only 20 people. Is it 1,000? That's 10. Is it 5,000? That's 2. 2,500? That's only 4 people, 1 person a week. But there is one thing that if you have, not only do you not have to take any crazy risks offering guarantees or anything like that, but it actually makes selling your promise and making money and building an audience in general infinitely easier. And that is the second P, which is proof. Proof is what actually weighs down your promise and makes it feel real to your avatar. Because you can make the biggest, prettiest promise in the world, and if it is not supported by proof, it will fall flat on its face because no one will trust you. No one will take you up on it. And the thing about proof is it can be quite literally anything that backs up that you are who you say you are and that you can do what you say you can do. That's pretty much it. If you're teaching knitting, show things that you've knitted. Show before and afters of when you used to knit really badly and now you knit really good. If you taught someone how to knit, show the person that you taught how to knit. If I wanted to show proof right now, I can scroll through transactions of me making money through YouTube content and whatnot. If I wanted to show YouTube proof like this, I could show you over 20 million views right here in my dashboard. And when it comes to proof, the first layer is just you. So it's your fitness transformation, it's your things that you've accomplished, it's anything that shows that you've done the thing. And while that's good, at the end of the day, it's you trying to hype up yourself. So if you can show it for others, that is so much more helpful. So yeah, I just showed you my own results with making money online and with my YouTube and whatnot, but you could still think, well, maybe you got lucky, Kenny. Maybe you have some secret talent or ability or gift that I don't have. Therefore, I don't know if I fully believe in your promise yet. But if I were to show you Josh, who was a video editor, I helped him with his content, I helped him with his offer, his promise, and added tens of thousands of dollars a month extra to his income and changed his life, all of a sudden, well, okay, not only did you do that for yourself, but you can do that for others. And if you don't have any proof on the others level of things, just help people for free. At least help one person for free so you can get experience with it, or sell your promise for a ridiculously low price to get some people in the door so you can build up proof and then you can raise your price later on. And then what you want to do is you want to sprinkle your proof everywhere throughout your content and everywhere throughout your sales process. Meaning you don't just do this once in a while on a YouTube video, you tell your story or you show a screenshot or something, and maybe one time when you're sending someone through whatever it is over here that we're about to talk about. No, you have to hit them over and over and over and over and over again, because people forget. People don't remember things until you hit it with them at least usually 7 times, and they finally make that association with you in their brain. This is why fitness coaches on Instagram show client transformations every day, all the time. This is why Alex Hormozi, even though we know he's a rich guy, is always talking about how much money he's made. Because you just have to, nowadays, you just have to be an honest and clear person if you truly want to make it. Yeah, some scumbags are going to lie and make some money, but if you truly want to make this your career and you're truly a good person, you should want to have more than enough proof for your avatar. But finally, because you have all of the ingredients, how do we put it together so people actually go to your thing and give you money for the thing? Well, that is through the pipeline. And the first part of that pipeline is value. And as you probably guessed, this means not being some random entertainment creator that just does crazy challenges or tries to make jokes or anything like that. Because if you want people to believe in you, you should help them for free. You should give out value for free to attract the perfect avatar. And I put value in quotations because a lot of people think, oh, value has to be very specific information. That is not the case. Value does not equal information. For example, let's say I came to your house and gave you a bunch of pieces of paper. And you're like, okay, I guess I just got a bunch of pieces of paper, whatever. But what if I took those same pieces of paper and turned it into a giant origami crane and I gave that to you? You would think, holy shit, this is awesome. Giant origami crane. Hell yeah, I'm gonna put that in the living room. They were both paper, but the way I presented one and delivered on one feels more valuable than just a bunch of paper. But speaking of value, if you feel like you've gotten some value out of this video so far, please, please, please consider subscribing. I have so many banger videos on this channel and none of them have really popped off. This is literally a hidden gem right now. The algorithm hasn't matched up with the ideal audience yet. So subscribe, because I'm putting out more and more game. In fact, this video feels a little simple in comparison to other videos I have made. There is so much free value, free information on my channel, so subscribe. And by the way, value and free content does not have to be specific teachings on how to do something. Yes, a lot of content is like that, but a lot of content is just perspective shifting, which means you're taking limiting beliefs that your avatar has and you're showing them the reality or the thing that will actually get them to move forward because they have a better mindset for the thing you're trying to help them with. And I know I keep talking about Alex Hormozi, but for example, Alex Hormozi has a lot of videos and podcasts where he talks about things like focus and discipline. And that is not a specific how to add $100,000 a month to your business. That is perspective shifting, that is belief shifting, and that is still very valuable to the avatar that struggles with those things. And another form of value that a lot of creators don't even think of is revealing the problem to their avatars. The avatar may have a pain point and a problem that they kind of perceive, but if they watch your video and you then explain the problem and the source of the problem to them, that is valuable because they now understand their situation and how they need to go about to fix it infinitely more than they did before. That is value too. Even if you're just, hey buddy, there's a knife in your side. They may not have known. They're just like, oh, I feel tired. I feel like I'm bleeding out. And you're like, hey, no, there's a knife. And you're like, oh no, okay, I need to fix this. Especially if you go up to them and grab it and twist it. And they're like, oh, okay, I need to get this out. But once you get them in the door with the value, it's time to go through a pipeline. I know this looks like a lot, and to be honest, I probably made it look a little more complex than I had to, but that's just because when it comes to your pipeline, it's kind of like you're in Minecraft. You can kind of build it however you want, whatever makes most sense for you and your avatar. For example, maybe they watch a video of value and then they grab a freebie that you gave away in the video. And then that freebie gets their email and sends them a sequence of emails. And then eventually one of those emails sends them to a VSL, a video sales letter, which is just a video explaining your promise and your proof and everything like that. And then from that VSL, if it's something a little more expensive, they book a call and you talk to them over the phone and then you get them to purchase your thing. Maybe the value just goes to more content of value. Maybe it's another YouTube video. Maybe it's your Instagram, things like that. And maybe instead of sequences and VSLs and whatnot, it's just, hey, DM me on Instagram, kind of like what I said earlier. And then you can get them in a call from there, you can close them from there, or you can go straight from another YouTube video to a VSL, to a call, to money. Like, as you can see, this is clearly just so you can do this in so many different ways. You just need to know that these that you're seeing on the screen right now are the main ingredients that you can use to build out your pipeline. And it is having a pipeline in place that allowed me to, with my main channel, disappear for over 120 days, 0 uploads, and was still making thousands and thousands of dollars every single month because I had old pieces of value that were sending new viewers through the pipelines and getting them to my offers, because it's the pipeline that turns attention into a decision. But look, it is time I finally address the elephant in the room. For the longest time, I was struggling to grow my brand. I was struggling to make any form of income from it and achieve that freedom I've always desired. And the truth is, I wasn't able to make the right promise. I wasn't able to show proof the right way. I wasn't able to build the pipeline that actually converted until I understood a singular thing that changed everything about my channel, about my income, and about my life. And it is not another hack. It is not another YouTuber tip. It is not another trend to hop on. It is the one thing that has not changed throughout humanity since its inception, and that is the human mind. That is psychology. Because tactics change, models change, algorithms change. The one thing that doesn't change is actually the human algorithm, the human brain. And once I had a deep understanding of the psychological principles that allow you to create compelling content, build an undeniable personal brand that attracts that cult-like following, and monetizes that following through a business that runs in the background, then it all clicked for me, and I was able to make it as a creator and get far past $10,000 a month. So one, all of those psychological systems are inside Audience Alchemy, and if you DM me on Instagram, I'll tell you more about it, or there's a link below. Or click the video on the screen right now where I reveal the 7 psychological principles that allowed me to get far past 100,000 subscribers and $100,000 as a creator. That's it. It's on the screen right now. Click it, click it, click it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.